6,000 activists from 44 countries are preparing for a historic mission. They will sail toward the Gaza Strip to break through the maritime blockade imposed by Israel for many years. This effort is considered the largest in the history of international solidarity movements for Palestine. Unlike previous attempts involving a single ship, this time a large humanitarian fleet will sail together, carrying a powerful message from the global community. This information was conveyed by Haifa Mansouri, a member of the organizing committee, in an official statement cited by Anadolu News Agency. She explained that this action is the result of coordination among several international organizations committed to breaking the illegal blockade of Gaza by sea. 4 major organizations will join the fleet, including Maghreb Summit Flotilla, Global Movement to Gaza, Freedom Flotilla Coalition, and Summit Nusantra. They share the same goal: to establish a humanitarian corridor, stop genocide, and ensure that aid can enter the isolated territory without obstacles. The travel plans have been carefully arranged. The first fleet will depart on August 31, 2025, from a port in Spain, followed by the second fleet leaving Tunisia on September 4, 2025. Each participant will undergo intensive training at departure points, preparing themselves for potential risks at sea. This mission is more than just a voyage. It is a statement from the international community that the blockade against Gaza is a violation of international law. Support continues to flow from various groups, ranging from humanitarian activists and community leaders to NGOs focusing on human rights. The preparation for the international fleet heading to Gaza involves not only logistics and technical navigation, but also strict security strategies. The organizers understand the high risk of confrontation at sea, considering Israel's ongoing military enforcement of the blockade. Therefore, every volunteer is trained to handle emergencies, from rapid evacuation and medical aid to satellite communication techniques to maintain coordination under pressure. Haifa Mansouri emphasized that this departure is not a provocation but a humanitarian mission protected by international law. She stated that the global community has the right to send aid to areas experiencing humanitarian crises, especially when land and air access are restricted. This aligns with the views of several international law experts who consider the Gaza blockade a violation of the Geneva Conventions. The enthusiasm among volunteers is very high. Many have previously participated in similar missions, but acknowledge that this operation is on a much larger scale. Some bring experience in medicine, logistics, and media documentation. All these skills are essential to ensure the mission runs smoothly and the world witnesses the process firsthand. Support from the global civil society keeps growing. In many countries, solidarity actions and fundraisers are held to help with the fleet's operational costs. Some donate medical equipment, food supplies, and even additional ships. Volunteers believe every small support will have a huge impact for Gaza's residents trapped under the blockade. The departure of this humanitarian fleet is seen as a significant milestone that will mark a new chapter in the struggle for Palestinian rights. Some international political analysts suggest that this mission could attract massive global media attention because it involves participants from multiple continents. From Asia to Latin America, activists come bearing the flag of humanity, uniting diverse backgrounds for a common cause, ending the suffering caused by the blockade. At the various ports of departure, the atmosphere is thick with preparation. Volunteers work side by side loading aid supplies into containers and storage areas aboard the ships. Boxes filled with medicines, medical devices, dried food, and warm clothing are arranged neatly to ensure efficient distribution later. Beyond physical aid, the fleet carries a moral message to the world. Humanity must transcend political interests. Organizers ensure every ship is equipped with modern navigation systems, long-distance communication devices, and safety gear that meet international standards. They have also assembled medical teams ready to respond throughout the journey, anticipating possible attacks or technical difficulties at sea. Beyond technical preparations, an information campaign is in full swing. Social media serves as a critical tool to share real-time updates of the mission. This strategy aims to sustain public support and keep the world's attention focused. Volunteers believe that widespread publicity will serve as a moral shield against any unlawful actions toward the humanitarian fleet. The day of departure is drawing near, and the atmosphere at the departure ports is growing intense. In Spain, the first fleet is undergoing final inspections, from engine tests to checking international sailing documents. Volunteers from various countries gather, getting acquainted and sharing personal reasons for joining. Some are doctors, journalists, and former naval officers who now dedicate themselves to humanitarian missions. Preparations in Tunisia are equally rigorous. The Second Fleet is loading additional aid supplies sent from North and East Africa. Local communities come out to show support, bringing food, water, and hopeful messages tucked inside Palestinian flags. This reminds everyone that the mission belongs not only to the volunteers on board, but also to millions of caring hearts worldwide. The organizers emphasize that the sailing route has been carefully chosen to avoid areas that might trigger military tensions. However, they acknowledge that risks remain. Several civilian escort vessels will accompany the fleet to monitor security, although the organizers stress that the mission is entirely peaceful and unarmed. On the other hand, the Israeli government has not yet issued an official statement regarding the planned fleet departure. Nonetheless, analysts predict a firm response, given Israel's consistent enforcement of the maritime blockade on Gaza for national security reasons. This leaves the international public awaiting whether the humanitarian mission will reach its destination unhindered or face confrontation at sea. The much-anticipated day has finally arrived. At the Spanish port, thousands have gathered since early morning to witness the departure of the First Fleet. Flags from many countries fly alongside Palestinian banners, creating a rare and powerful spectacle. Cheers, solidarity chants, and prayers accompany the volunteers as they board the ships. Cameras from global media outlets capture this historic moment, ensuring the world witnesses the beginning of this risky journey. Ship captains deliver final instructions to the crew and volunteers. Everyone is asked to strictly follow safety procedures. Life jackets, communication radios, and route maps are double-checked. Medical teams confirm that emergency medicines are easily accessible. In the control room, technicians monitor engine status and navigation systems that will guide the fleet through international waters. Onshore volunteers, though not sailing, play vital roles. They coordinate information centers, manage media contacts, and prepare backup support teams for possible contingencies. Some act as liaisons connecting the mission with humanitarian organizations in Gaza to expedite aid distribution upon arrival. When the departure siren sounds, emotions run high. Tears of pride and hope mingle on the faces of supporters. The ships slowly move away from the docks, blowing their horns loudly. Behind the smiles of the volunteers lies the awareness that this journey may end in great challenges, yet their determination to reach Gaza burns bright. The voyage begins under favorable weather conditions. The fleet sails in planned formation, maintaining safe distances while staying within visual communication range. The vast blue sea stretches beneath a gentle breeze that helps speed the ships forward. On deck, volunteers take time to bond, sharing stories of their origins and personal motivations for joining this mission. Despite the seemingly calm atmosphere, vigilance remains high. Navigation teams continuously scan radars to detect approaching vessels. Every few hours, radio communication ensures the fleet stays on course. Captains remind crews they will soon enter international waters frequently patrolled by the Israeli Navy, urging them to stay focused and ready for any situation. In medical quarters, doctors and nurses inspect their equipment, confirming oxygen tanks, for fluids, and medicines are ready for use at any moment. They also provide brief first aid training to volunteers as precaution against sudden injuries. Meanwhile, documentation teams capture crucial moments of the journey. Photos and videos are streamed live to land-based media centers, which distribute updates to international news networks. The goal is clear: keep the world watching in real time, making it difficult for any party to violate international law against the humanitarian fleet. On the second day at sea, signs of potential confrontation emerge. Radar detects patrol boats maneuvering toward a course likely to intersect with the humanitarian fleet. This information is immediately relayed via secured communication channels. Captains instruct crews and volunteers to hold positions and avoid any provocative actions. On deck, tension rises. Volunteers who were previously chatting quietly now stare toward the horizon where silhouettes of patrol vessels gradually become clearer. Peace flags and banners are raised high as a signal of the mission's non-military nature. Documentation teams increase live streaming frequency, ensuring every second is recorded and broadcast. Organizers on shore swiftly contact diplomatic representatives in multiple countries to alert them of the situation. The goal is to apply diplomatic pressure to prevent aggressive actions against the fleet. Despite the tension, captains reaffirm their commitment to continue the mission unless the safety of all on board is severely threatened. They understand the risks were calculated from the start, and retreat without strong cause would be a major setback for the international solidarity movement. Amidst the tension, one thing remains unchanged: the volunteer spirit to deliver aid to Gaza remains unbroken. The threat they face only strengthens their conviction that this struggle is worth fighting, no matter the cost. As the fleet approaches waters near Gaza, the mission reaches a critical moment. Patrol boats that were once distant now sail almost parallel to the humanitarian ships. Loudspeakers from the patrol vessels issue warnings demanding the fleet change course. On deck, volunteers stand in rows holding flags and banners affirming the peaceful intent of the mission. No shouting, no provocation, only firm gazes and steady footsteps. In the ship's control room, captains maintain their course according to the preset route. Radio communications are filled with messages from land-based command centers monitoring the situation. Several allied countries have issued official statements urging Israel not to obstruct the humanitarian mission. Diplomatic pressure is mounting, but tension on the sea remains palpable. Medical teams and crew remain on high alert, prepared for worst-case scenarios. Below deck, humanitarian aid remains neatly organized, ready for immediate distribution once the fleet reaches Gaza's port. As the distance closes, the world watches with bated breath. Cameras from multiple angles broadcast the moment live, seen by millions worldwide. Will the fleet break through the blockade without incident, or will it be forcibly stopped?